Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
I am doing good. Welcome. Are you just asking me how I'm doing? Welcome to another episode of Just the Tips. I'm Joanna Angel.
I'm Small Hands.
We're
Aaron.
not professionals.
Why do you say that?
I don't
feel
know.
very professional.
Do you really?
Yeah, I've got my headphones on. I've got a coffee and a liquid death water. Like I'm a real broadcaster.
It's raining outside, and
it is raining.
It's like it doesn't count as a day. It is cold. Today is definitely the coldest day so far. It's like really winter.
We're gonna have to get out.
It's not technically winter. When is the first real day of winter?
I don't.
When
know.
is the actual first day of winter?
It's not today.
December 21st.
Okay.
Oh, is it today?
No,
is today December? Oh, December. I thought you said November. What month is it? Okay, so it's not technically. It feels like winter today. Like it's cold.
We're on the cusp of winter.
We're on the cusp. We're
gonna have to go to our storage unit and get out our winter shit.
Yeah, I was going through my closet and it was like a tough decision because I have all these like fall coats. And I was like, how much longer am I going to need these fall coats? Is it still acceptable to wear it? There's like different phases of cold. It's like fall coat with a sweater under it, fall coat with a scarf. And then at a certain point, it's just like winter coat. Mm-hmm. You need like multi-stages of coat. Today, I would have worn a winter coat. I have not said that yet.
Okay.
This season.
What else is at our storage unit besides coats? I forget what we have.
I forget what we have there. And I think it should be a goal to get rid of it. I saw this Seinfeld sketch. It was like a bit from him. It was circling around reels. And it was just like different phases of junk. And he said something along the lines at the end. I mean, he's like Jerry Seinfeld, so he's a lot funnier than me. He said it in his own funny way about like how everything that's in your storage unit, you actually don't need at all. And like now you're just paying for stuff you're never going to use, which is like a step worse than having a like crap in your house you don't use. We don't have a house anymore, but we have an apartment, You know what I'm trying to say.
What a hilarious joke, Joanna.
Oh my God. It's not like I didn't say it like a joke, I wasn't like, so anyway, the thing about junk,
Sweet analogy, bro.
It wasn't really good. It didn't land how I thought it was going to land.
You know what's in
I've been trying to purge junk more often ever since we moved out of a home and into an apartment that is a church that doesn't have any
You
closets.
have been, and yet somehow there's just always more shit laying around.
Well, you need a lot of shit in life.
Do you?
I mean, I have consolidated my shit greatly.
Yeah, you have. When we lived in LA, you had a lot of stuff.
Right.
I
was also directing, so I had clothes that I knew.
And like lights and more production.
Yeah, production stuff.
Camera equipment, yeah.
I mean, also, back in the day, it was hard to get stuff, like movie stuff, like.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I mean, I remember I made, when we made like Evil Head, the movie, Burning Angel movie. Mm-hmm. A parody of Evil Dead. Yeah, I think we like first started dating when we did that. But I remember we got this like special effects company to make severed arms and severed heads and stuff like that. And it was very difficult to get that stuff and very expensive too. So it was like, I need to keep this because there's going to be another time where I'm going to need like a severed arm and a severed head.
Yeah, because
and prop, dirt, and like all this stuff. It was you could only get it from movie places. Some of these movie places you needed like insurance.
Like you had to be in SAG or something. Had to be in the union.
I mean, people might be interested or not interested. I don't know what people are interested in, but I guess it doesn't really matter. do I have to like admit that I lied?
What?
Sorry. Sometimes my brain.
Yeah, no, I'm watching you.
You're watching me
wander
jump
around this
over.
room right now.
Yeah.
Mentally. So what's
everybody just step inside my brain so I don't have to speak, and everybody will just know what I'm talking about.
Got it.
Okay.
That would make for a great show.
I'm talking about the severed arms and the severed legs and the propter and all the prop stuff. Yeah. Evil Head.
Classic film.
Classic Burning Angel. I mean, we made a lot of horror porno parody things. That was sort of what we were known for. But
that's
some
one
of
the
them were
best.
more intense than others. I mean, that one required all sorts of, special stuff. But yeah, you actually would need, there were certain things that we would have to get that you could only get from like prop houses, and the prop houses only rented to people who had, insurance, like permits and insurance certificates and
permits,
stuff.
Things
Yes.
like that,
Things that were almost impossible to get in porn. I mean, I had tried.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone wants to know, I mean, there's a lot of red tape around filming porn in California, especially. Porn is legal to film, but when something is legal, there's always like regulations around it, if that makes sense. These are the not fun things I had to deal with as a director.
What does this have to do with severed arms?
Okay, I'm saying that...
Do we have severed arms and or legs in our storage unit right now?
I'm trying to explain to you. No, we don't have them in our... Why would I need them now? But I'm saying back in the day when I had them... I would hold on to them because they were so complicated and difficult to get. But now you can just get most of that stuff on Amazon or something that's good enough, especially for, it's easier.
That's where
to
you
get
were
that
going
stuff.
with this?
Yeah, but then it was leading into other things.
you know what we do have in our storage unit, which is really funny. All of our like awards, like our porn.
I was
awards.
just,
and it's funny because that movie Evil Head won some awards. So literally, kind of funny. In our storage unit right now, there are some trophies for
like
that.
3, and I hate even saying it, and I don't like to complain about it because this sounds like a douchey thing to say. But we have 3 giant boxes of awards sitting in storage, and I actually don't know what to do with them because I could never throw them away. I talked to one director, I'm not going to say who it is, but he's like a retired director from the porn industry, and he actually had this problem. He had won like 5 times the amount of awards that I have, and he actually he was like completely retired and just wanted like needed space in his house. He had said that he sent it to had some factory like melt them all, and I was like, what, like award soup? But I would never do that.
Wait, no, he would melt them all and fuse them into one massive award, right? I mean,
that would have been so much smarter.
Like when you
makes sense to me.
Like when you bust down something, it's not soup. It becomes part of something else, right?
Yeah. And it's
that's genius because now he
genius.
just has this one super awesome award. Maybe we need to fuse our award.
Fuse all of our awards together into one super award. And
because right now, and this shout out to all of the awards people and companies who have been kind enough to celebrate us over the years.
I am so grateful and so thankful.
I'm
not in no way at all am I getting the message across that I don't appreciate these.
It's just we're both very thankful for all the awards we've won over the years and the recognition. That's just cool as hell. It just feels kind of douchey, I guess, to put like where are we going to display these?
Well,
there's like 120 awards.
At this juncture in my life, I do not want to display them, and that doesn't mean I'm not proud of them.
Right.
I worked very hard for them, and they were a big part of my life. But that part of my life is over. I feel like it's almost like that would be like the guy that had like a high school football trophy up, who like when everyone had like, imagine if you went to somebody's house and he had like high school stuff
But no, that doesn't
I don't
make
direct
sense.
anymore.
Yeah, but this isn't high school. This is like big time shit. Winning, the biggest awards you can win in the adult industry. I think it's more like if you're a Hall of Fame like basketball player and you have all of your, things up. You don't take those down because you're proud of them, But if you're a Hall of Fame basketball player, you probably live in a fucking mansion big enough to have like a whole hallway dedicated or a room. We live in Brooklyn in like two-bedroom apartment.
There's not enough
so
room.
If we were to display our awards, it would literally be the only thing that you would. Like it would overwhelm you.
Yeah, it would be like welcome to the apartment of awards.
Yeah, look at best anal scene, best look at all of our awards, and like it's just too much. It would be so douchebaggy.
It would be very douchey. But I even when
we lived in LA though, we didn't really display them.
I mean, when I have a lot more awards than you.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Well, I've just been around for longer.
You've also been in the business.
I know. The awards you've won are actually way more important than the awards I've won, but I have like quantity. You have quality. I've also been around a lot longer.
You also, hold on.
I've won all the unimportant ones. Should we dedicate this episode to awards? Because I could talk about that for a whole episode. I think that's where this is going. I did not mean to. Or should we talk about severed heads?
I pick awards.
So, yeah, Joanna, I've
been around for a really long time.
You also, because you owned a movie studio and were a director, two things I don't have on my resume. You were winning awards on like every angle of the adult industry for a while. You were winning directing awards. You were winning awards for the movie studio itself. You were winning awards for being a giant whore.
Yeah.
I only have won awards for being a big whore. Although
you've won the biggest awards. Though.
Yeah,
I specialize
I've been the biggest whore
in always winning awards in the categories that nobody cared about. It was sort of my way. It was my business plan. Because I knew I wasn't going to be able to win the big ones, and it was important for me to win them. So I looked at all the awards categories that were, not the ones that all the people who were much more talented than me were competing for, and I managed to be the best there. So that's my secret advice.
Goals. You set
attainable goals. And I achieved them. And over time, those goals got a little bit bigger and bigger. It was always a goal of mine to reach, to win Movie of the Year, which is the absolute biggest award of the night, which it was like a goal of mine. But that's like saying like it's a goal of mine to win the lottery. Like, you know what I mean? That's everyone's goal,
Yeah.
But I won it once. And that was the last award show that, I was, whatever. That was it. That was my goodbye. And it was a little anticlimactic because it was in my living room because it was still COVID. Yeah. And I was like, I really if I wrote a memoir, like this moment, I wish I was like on stage.
That was such a great...
And it was also the last movie that I directed. It was kind of like a nice end to a story other than the fact that I was drunk in my living room accepting this giant award.
That was
and
a
it was
fun
just, it made
party,
me feel...
though.
I never,
We had people over to our house and...
It was a fun party. We made a mock red carpet.
Yeah, and we had all of our porn star homies over, and I wore pajamas. I wore a onesie, and I won an award.
I wore a gown and slippers.
And I remember accepting the award for male performer of the year in my pajamas, and I was like, "This is kind of cool."
Yeah. No, wait. That year you didn't win male performer. Well, there were two COVID awards. The first COVID award you did win. Male Performer of the Year for what? The second time? You won twice, right?
Yeah.
At Avian. And then the next year, that's when Tommy Pistol won.
That's right.
And then, and I won for, my movie won for.
What's out of all the awards you've won? What's the one that's the most special to you?
You know what? In all honesty, it's going to be my first one and my last one.
Okay, so what was the
Bookends.
first? What was the first one?
The first one was, it's kind of nice that, thinking of it now, that the year that I won Movie of the Year, or my movie won Movie of the Year, Tommy Pistol won Male Performer of the Year because the first AVN award I ever won was for Re-Penetrator, and it was for Most Outrageous Sex Scene with me and Tommy Pistol. So how funny. It's like
classic.
bookends.
A real classic.
No, that's how it starts and that's how it ended.
Okay.
Tommy Pistol, even though there was, and Tommy Pistol was the star of Casey, A True Story, the movie that won Movie of the Year. I sound like am I bragging? I sound like I'm bragging, but I'm like just talking about stories. I don't like to brag.
Just relax and tell the story.
I'm a humble person.
Oh my God.
But Tommy Pistol was one of the stars. I mean, obviously Casey was the star, but Tommy was like the lead male actor in Casey, A True Story, the movie that did win Movie of the Year. So kind of, and that was his year that he won Male Performer of the Year. But anyway, my first award was winning Most Outrageous Sex Scene with Tommy Pistol. It was a very special year, actually.
All right,
I could talk about that because I was way before you were around.
Hold on.
You were not even a...
I know. I wasn't around. So my question is, because you know what's crazy? I don't think I've ever seen Re-Penetrator.
Well, yeah.
Because it got like banned from the internet, basically. Yeah. It's really hard to find. And I wasn't around then. So it won Most Outrageous Sex Scene. What made it so outrageous?
Wow. Okay.
Because I haven't seen it.
Yeah. No, you haven't seen it.
Now, and for everyone out there listening, Re-Penetrator is a horror parody of Re-Animator.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
I could tell the story. I know I've told it. I did tell it. I told this story oddly on Ryan Pillow Talks.
Okay, well,
podcast,
we're not on
there.
Ryan's Pillow Talks
podcast. We're not on there.
Hi,
I'm just
Ryan.
saying, yeah.
But
so if you heard it there, you can hear it again
so
right
outrageous?
here.
What made the sex scene so
kind of
outrageous?
funny because I did not think it was so outrageous.
I have the trailer up if you guys want.
Oh my God.
Do you? You found the trailer?
Do you want to see the trailer?
I do. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, this is a baby Joanna. And Mitch wrote this song. This was his old band. I can't believe we're watching this. This is weird.
Oh, look at Tommy.
This is like somebody pulling out your high school yearbook at a party. Like
college yearbook.
Turn it up. Wow. I'm going to cry.
I need something bigger. It's alive! It's alive!
This is great.
That's not the OG trailer. That was
because it's not
that was
allowed.
The re-release. Yeah, it's not allowed. Yeah,
it just said at the end, this DVD contains imagery that cannot be shown on the internet.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy to have that tagline on your shit.
Yeah.
I've seen some wild shit on the internet though.
Okay, here's the thing.
So tell me what made it so controversial.
What made it so controversial? If controversial is even the right word.
That's where we're going with.
Okay,
tell it. Tell the story.
Woo! We're going to go like in a time machine now. We're going to take you back to the year 2002, 3? Sure. What year was it?
None of us know except you. We weren't there.
Yeah, it was 2003, 2004, I think. Okay, anyway, a close, he was a close friend of mine, Doug Sackman. He was a director for Trauma and stuff like that. A friend of mine that made horror movies. I had talked to him and was like, hey, I don't remember how the conversation started, but I wanted to make a Halloween movie. Mm-hmm. Burning Angel really didn't do very much back in that day. Whatever. I'm having a hard time telling the story. I need to get
What
focused.
made the sex scene so outrageous?
Let me get to this.
Because it was so outrageous.
It was so outrageous. Okay. So anyway, we made this movie, okay? Burning Angel, at that point in time, we had a handful of scenes on the website, like a handful, literally meaning under 5, that were all, I think, just from like couples. It's like almost like we didn't produce real porn yet. They were just like friends of ours.
So what made the sex scenes?
Oh my God, it's just going to take so long to tell this story. So buckle up.
Oh my God. I'm okay.
And we had one DVD that was burningangel.com, the movie. Up. Okay. So we didn't really have a lot of experience making movies or much experience producing porn. But I wanted to do like a cool Halloween thing. I talked to my, friend Doug about it, and he had this idea to do a parody of Re-Animator. Okay. I did not really know any of the rules or all the red tape around producing porn. And, this was still very new to me. I did not even think I needed to really look into all the like fine print on the billing company shit, because I didn't make super extreme porn or anything like that.
Up to that point.
Well, it was, okay. I had known that under the regulations it said like no blood. But I didn't think fake blood fell into that. I thought this was pertaining to people making like, necrophilia, like real.
Or like period blood or cutting.
Yes, like actually porn where you're harming yourself,
blood play.
Or in general, I would think that any movie is going to like be illegal, or if you're showing somebody actually cut themselves,
it's at least frowned upon.
It's at least frowned upon. Yeah, like that goes into a different category.
But you thought that only applied to actual real IRL blood.
Yeah, I didn't even have to think twice about it. I mean, there's fake blood in movies all the time. Anyway, so whatever, we made the movie, and in the movie, I'm a zombie. I get brought back to life. The first word out of my mouth is balls, because I'm really horny. I was dead for a long time because I was a zombie. So I woke up really horny, as that would happen. And then...
I'm sorry, balls.
Yeah, balls. Balls.
What did the character in the original movie say?
I don't remember.
It's just of all the words.
Yeah, it was based off something, and I can't even remember what it is.
Okay,
that's going to offend a lot of like diehard Re-Animator fans right now. But
so you wake up,
I'm like a Re-Animator poser, and I don't know all
balls.
Yeah, I scream balls, and then I'm brought back to life, and the mad scientist Tommy Pistol, he's like, yay, and then I start like. I want to give him a blowjob, blah, 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 blah. And then, his experiment kind of backfires on him because the sex starts to get crazy. I'm like riding him, and I start like pulling his intestines out,
oh my.
Stuff like that. Basically, like I fuck him to death. That is what I do in the scene, in the story.
You pull his intestines
I do. There's a part where I pull his intestines out.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, they're not his real intestines.
But while you're fucking...
While I'm fucking, and blood is just pouring out of my vagina, like gushing,
This is like
he's making wacky Tommy Pistol jokes like the whole time.
I'm just picturing like a Cannibal Corpse
there was so
album cover.
Much, there was so much blood everywhere. We went through like, I think, at least 10 like fire extinguishers full of blood that were coming from under the table and like squirting up all over me, and like tubes from behind me.
It didn't get all sticky?
Stuff. It was very sticky.
How did his dick stay hard?
This was back in the day, tying back to my severed arm comment. It was like, it was impossible for us to get that much fake blood. I mean, it was like made with like, syrup and whatever, the food coloring and stuff. This is when we had to make our own blood. I do remember we shot it in a very big loft. It was where Doug's loft. And, I'm like, woo! There was so much blood. Actually, blood at some point squirted up on the ceiling in this like loft with very high ceilings.
And now it's dripping down.
It stained it forever. It's still there today,
Raining blood.
It really was legitimately raining blood. So basically, during the movie, I fuck him to death. Okay,
got it.
The movie comes out. Do you even know the whole story of Re-Penetrator?
I mean,
I don't think you even know this.
I know this.
It's not like you read through Joanna Angel interviews when we first started dating.
No,
I don't know.
That would have been very weird.
And Brian, you don't know this, and some people listening might not know this.
So the movie comes out in all of its bloody glory.
So it comes out on the website a week before Halloween. Okay,
very appropriate.
Right. And this was actually, Burning Angel was still a small-ish situation before then. You know, like it was getting some steam, but it was like not any big time thing.
Right.
I did not live in Los Angeles at the time. I was very outside of the porn
Still very much an
world.
indie porn.
Very
company.
very indie. I still was a stripper. It's like I still had another job. This wasn't my full-time job. And so it went up. It was like a week before Halloween. And it's like this went viral before viral was a thing. The website actually broke that day. We got so much traffic. It was being written about on every single horror blog. And like this was before MySpace. This was before Twitter. This was before like there was a way to spread the word to a bunch of people really fast. This was before I was famous.
This really puts you guys on the map.
This did put us on the map. This was a very big turning point. There was 2 very big turning points in Burning Angel's life and my career, and this was one of them. And then the next one was years later.
And all you had to do to get it was fuck a cut of death.
Yeah. And but at the end of the scene, his arms and his legs are cut off. You know, they're like in holes.
Fun.
And yeah. And I'm shaking him to wake up, and then like
just his torso.
Yeah. And he won't wake up. And then I take the solution that brought me back to life, and I just look at it and I'm like, haha, like I'm going to go out and like, I don't know, I guess fuck more people or something, or I'm going to take more, whatever. I don't know, to be continued. Anyway, so it comes out a week before Halloween, and it's insane. This is definitely way more attention than I ever thought I was going to get in my lifetime. Way more, the website actually broke. I was getting hit up by all these like horror zines and stuff to do interviews.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And they were calling like my house line, like, this was like we still had
the old
landlines.
landline.
Yeah. Like we had a Burning Angel like office phone, but it was just a phone in my apartment, like, and then it was like, I think I need to do something about this because I guess I'm kind of famous now. Maybe people shouldn't have my number, It was crazy. So that's happening. We're, definitely making more money than than Burning Angel really ever made. In one day, and everybody's asking about it. And then we get this message from the billing company that we use. Now, you need a billing company to have a website, any website where you're taking payment. And the
You're
billing
talking
company,
about like Visa, MasterCard.
well, yeah, but those are not the billing companies. There's like a middleman.
Right.
Basically, like I can't talk to Visa. Well, you know what I mean? Like I don't talk directly to Visa. I talk to a company
it's the company that accepts your payment.
Yes, it's a company that makes it possible for you to accept Visa and MasterCard and whatever. And anyway, and also we were a pretty new website at the time too. So it took us a while to even get accepted by a billing company because when you go to a billing company, they want to say,
and immediately they regretted accepting.
Yeah. So we got a mess. I remember we got this email and it was like, hey guys, this is like blatantly against the rules. Like all of them. There's necrophilia, there's blood. And I was like, oh, I got this, guys. I'm with my like graphic designer guy.
You're like, we can edit
partner.
around that, right?
No, and I'm like, I just need to tell them that it's fake. Like I just thought that I just had to clarify that. And I was like, oh, they just think it's real.
Like they thought it was a snuff film?
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, they must just not know.
Like they actually thought
No, they didn't, but I just assumed I just had to clarify that.
A grown man's intestines.
I thought maybe I just had to clarify that this was fake.
Mid-thrust.
Yeah, I mean, it was really good special effects. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to write back and explain to them that it's not real and we'll be fine, And I was like, maybe we just have to put a disclaimer.
To whom it may concern.
Yes.
Our production value is so high. And our special effects so convincing. I understand how you would think this is real.
Yeah. So I basically replied and was like, I just need to let you know this is all fake. Movie magic. I don't know if you guys know how movies work, but it is possible to make yourself look like you're bleeding when you're not. Like, let me explain. And I was like, maybe I was like, and I'd be happy to put a disclaimer because I thought that would actually be very funny to put a disclaimer like this is not real blood, blah, blah, blah. And then they replied, and they're like, it's still against the rules. Like, you can't do that.
So the rules are whenever there is, correct me if I'm wrong, whenever there's sex happening, blood of any kind, fake, real, is not.
Yeah, not.
It's just a no.
Is not allowed at all.
Because I
actually started to pay attention, in horror movies, like, especially when private parts and stuff are showing,
Right. Whenever there's some element of sexuality, you can't
have blood.
Having a slit.
Which I thought was so crazy because growing up, it's like horror movies and like hot chicks go together, But I guess they're not fucking while they die. Yeah, they're not fucking while they're dead.
Because I've been an actor in several like horror porns, and you're allowed to bleed, way before you fuck.
Yeah, way before.
So like if in the movie,
like in a different scene,
right?
Yeah.
Like you get in a bar fight and you get cut. That's cool. But you can't immediately go from the bar fight to getting a blowjob in the bar while you're cut.
Nobody can stab you. Yeah, exactly. You cannot
right.
have blood and sex mixed together.
Are you allowed to have like dried blood from a different scene?
So this became a running problem like throughout my whole career.
I get it.
They prefer you don't. If you are going to have that, you need to cover yourself completely. So the times when I would push the limits a little bit, I'd have the girl put on a bra and panties that's not see-through at all, and then have dried blood nowhere near tits or vagina. I had pushed the limits of this after I learned the hard way.
It's true.
Years later, and actually, I did do that in Evil Head. Flashing forward to Evil Head, there's a lot of scenes where girls are dying. Okay, but go back, and they have bras and panties on and whatever, and they're not having sex. So that was like the particular rules. But yeah, so I wrote back. I said, this is not real blood. And they said, this is against the rules. Like, you have to take this down. And I was like, what? I was like, you can't do that.
Up to this point, that was the most expensive film you'd ever made.
Yeah, even though it wasn't very expensive. But yeah. I mean, and it was just, the website just like changed, like all these people just joined to see it. Like, I mean, it was just, it didn't, that wasn't enough. I didn't know what to do.
What do you mean take down the most popular thing
I can't take this. I can't take this down. This is my brand. I didn't even have a brand until this, and now I have one. And the guy was being very nice. He was like, "Why don't you call me? And let's have like a meeting." And I called him, and look, I know everybody wants to hear this story and say, "Fuck them," blah 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 blah. This is just like a company this company was a very good company who fought the good fight so porn could take Visa and MasterCard to begin with. You know what I mean? So there's just like all these rules for him to have this company so we could all continue to do that. And he felt really bad, so I was not talking directly to him, and I was like, oh my God, like, what the fuck? I was like, it says in the terms of service, like, no necrophilia or blood. And I'm like, that I didn't think that included fake blood. This is a horror movie. It's Halloween, and I was like crying on the phone. I was like, this just, and he, and he could see that how much, new traffic we got and stuff like that. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to do you a solid. And he's like, we never had this conversation. He felt really bad. So if you're out there, you know who you are. I took the secret to the grave. I'm never going to say your name. He was like, I'm just going to pretend I didn't see this, because he was our like account representative or whatever. It was his job to look over the website. And at the time, Burning Angel wasn't very big. So like he's dealing with big monster, they were like the credit card processor for Bang Bros and all the big, he's like, I'm just going to pretend I didn't see this. Keep it up till Halloween, and then it's got to go. And I was like,
so it had a short,
and he's like, he's like, I guess you could leave it up, but then you can't take Visa and MasterCard, And I was like, okay. So we did that. We left it up. I can't remember if we wound up putting like something on the website saying we didn't tell anyone. I don't remember how we handled this once we knew the news, But I myself was like, maybe after Halloween, nobody will even care about it anymore. You know, like who really?
It's become
this
kind
is
of
seasonal.
a cult classic.
Yeah. So we took it off. We took it off the internet after Halloween and put, you know, a message being like, like we had to take it down due to like this being against, you know, regulations and blah, 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 blah.
That's so badass.
And then I thought everyone would be like, all right, like it's, you know, after Halloween.
That made everyone want it more.
To be fair, like it was pretty difficult to jerk off to this movie. You know, I was like, all right, now back to your regularly scheduled program of like tits and ass. You know, this was just, I don't know. I didn't think people were going to miss it that much. It was just nonstop barrage of emails of like, where is Re-Penetrator?
Well,
what are we doing?
When we have done like horror conventions, some of the diehard fans, they always bring up a Re-Penetrator DVD or if they have it, you know, or a poster.
Right.
And it's always kind of their gold standard of like, I think it's the gold standard of like horror porn.
I mean, yeah, it was like it,
you kind of have that unlocked. I guess many years.
It walked so the other ones could run. So, I don't know.
And you know what? It all led to it was this award in a box in our storage unit.
There's still more to the story.
Oh, okay.
How far do I go with it?
I don't know.
For everyone on the edge of their seats. So we took it off the website. Everybody was emailing, "Where's Re-Penetrator? Where's Re-Penetrator?" And granted, this was before we didn't have it on DVD. You know, it was only on the website because it was really just one scene. Mm-hmm. There was like a porno rule back then that like DVDs had to be 5 scenes. You know.
Scenes, for everyone out there who doesn't know what that means 5 sex scenes. So 5 sexual encounters.
Yes, 5 sexual encounters. Or there was like an unspoken rule. A DVD needed to be like 2 hours, you know?
You would not watch a 2-hour porno with a plot with one sexual encounter.
Right, this wasn't even a 2-hour porn.
You would see several throughout the movie.
This entire thing, Re-Penetrator from beginning to end was like 25 minutes.
So it's like a vignette, I believe it's called.
Yeah, which was a term invented way later. And actually... They had told me on the awards committee that they like basically invented the term vignette because of me, more or less. Years later. This was years later.
How did your head even fit through the door?
Okay. It's just, okay. But it wasn't because of Re-Penetrator. But anyway, we took it off the website and then, everybody was emailing, "Where's Re-Penetrator? Where's Re-Penetrator?" So I was like, okay, we have to figure something out and put it up somewhere. So then I talked to this like very sketchy like offshore company that was willing to put it up online. I forget which credit card they could accept. It was not Visa and MasterCard. It was like accepted like weird forms of payment.
Like a Costco card.
And this was a company that like I didn't want to be really associated with because they were the company that would do billing for the other porn sites that like, I don't know. I don't even want to say what they were, but this was like a company that
what do you mean?
I'm not.
Oh, you mean like they represented the sketchy?
Yeah, like
sites?
they're like, if Visa or MasterCard,
Like
if you're breaking all these rules, come here. Like we'll
like
accept payment for. Yeah. That's what they were doing. Yeah,
Lovely.
Stuff like that.
Oh,
like if you listed, like we also do business with.
What a cute roster to be on,
right?
Like
yeah.
artist roster.
I mean, it wasn't like they were like it was just the other people they did business with. I didn't have anything to do with them. But yeah, it was one of those companies. Like I had to call a dude that called another dude that called another dude to even get me someone's number who worked there. So then
you're on a sketchy
okay,
site
but wait, we put it on this other website and it was just Re-Penetrator.com. So we had to tell everyone, if you want hi, welcome to Burning Angel. Re-Penetrator's not here. Like we had to change the homepage. If you want it, you have to go here. But we weren't even allowed to link to it. So we had to, I don't know, whatever. And so people went to Re-Penetrator.com, which was able to take, I think it was literally just Discover, like something weird. Don't quote me on that, but it was just some credit card that was not a mainstream credit card, but you could see it there. And then at some point, even this sketchy company said it was too risky and they had to take it down.
Damn, Joanna.
And I was like, you literally have people like doing acts I'm not not even comfortable to say out loud.
But you were too much for them.
So they had to take it down.
They drew the line at drawing intestines out of a human
so
man.
then it actually wound up getting us DVD distribution. This DVD distribution company reached out to us and said, all these stores keep calling us asking if we have Re-Penetrator. And I guess, you're the one that made it. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, well, it's only like 20 minutes. And he was like, what? He hadn't, he thought this was a full movie. So we put it on DVD. And that was how it did wind up winning an award, because at the time you could only submit DVDs, things on DVD for awards. So we wound up putting it on DVD, and that was the beginning of the Burning Angel DVD distribution. And a whole bunch of stores bought it because they had just heard about it. They didn't even really know. Right. And then a whole bunch of stores.
The box cover was pretty cool.
Right.
Like the poster for it.
So we put it on DVD. Awesome. That's why the trailer you saw was for like the re-release or whatever. And so we added like behind the scene. There was nothing. We just had to add stuff. So there was like, we did like an interview with me. I think we watched the movie and like commented on it. We tried to just add shit to the DVD because it was unheard of to just sell a 20-minute DVD. And then so we, then the distributor picked it up, and all the stores that said they wanted it picked it up, and they all returned it.
Oh shit!
They're like, we can't have this.
Damn, this shit was too hot to handle.
Yeah, I don't think they. I don't know, because they were just like, oh, this movie, everybody comes in and looks for it. Let's buy it. They didn't really even know. They were like, get this fucking thing out of my store. So nobody wanted it.
A legend was born, though.
Yeah, and then it got to the point where the DVD distributor was like, we need you to pick this up and take it out of the warehouse. Okay. No, it was like contraband. And I was like, this is so crazy.
What did you do with the pallet of fucking illegal
so DVDs? Then this was just sold like a drug deal or something. Like every once in a while, someone would email asking for it, and we would just send them a copy in the mail. And eventually those DVDs ran out, and that was it.
So if you have one.
So I don't have a copy.
Special.
I don't have a copy. I sold my last copy. But I would go to other horror conventions over the years later, and see copies of it, and people would be like, oh, like, they're pirating it. Like, do you want, I'm like, no, let the world just keep seeing this movie, like it's fine. Like I'm okay with people pirating it and selling it, because I can't sell it.
Wow.
So that is the story.
What a way to kick off
it did win most outrageous sex scene, and I thought it was really funny because if you watch the sex scene, there's nothing super hardcore about it. There's just the special effects around it, and in that time, this was like the height of hardcore gonzo porn. So the other scenes it was up against, I actually remember one of the scenes that it beat. This girl got really mad at me because I guess she
was like, I actually was pulling his intestines out.
No,
and you were just pretending.
It was a scene where she was very excited to win the award. I think it was something like she took like, it was something like 50 guys like came on her face, and then they scraped the cum of her face and like put it in like an omelet or something, and then she ate the omelet. It was like something like that. It was like some kind of like extreme situation like that.
That's always fun.
Yeah. I think that is more outrageous than what I did.
Right.
Because what I did was fake and what she did was real. But I don't know. The people had spoken. It was my very first AVN award. And I went to that award show in 2005, and I actually was nominated for the coveted Best New Starlet award that every girl that enters the industry wants to win.
I was nominated for Best New
You were
male
nominated for Best New Male
when I first got in.
Right. And that was a pretty, I don't know, it was like a year, and I do remember it was on Netflix for a while. It went off Netflix. Somebody was doing a documentary about all the girls that year that were nominated for Best New Starlet,
I remember
and kind of followed them around.
this, yeah.
But I was like, I'm not going to win that award. I didn't even expect to win that award. I didn't even want to win that award. I was like, I'm new here. And if I win that award, a lot of people are going to hate me. And I want nothing to do with that. Like, I don't deserve that award, you know? It was crazy. I was even nominated for it. So it's funny because in that, you know, the fact that I even was able to get into the AVN Awards with a ticket with my name on it was insane to me. I was very, very like excited. And I didn't expect to win anything at all. The fact that I was even nominated was crazy. And so I remember that year, I tell you about the documentary because they had like a camera on my face when like I lost, you know, and I was like, oh, so when the documentary came out, it looks like I was really bummed that year, but I didn't care about losing that award at all. But anyway, to go back to what I said, I was always very good at winning awards that most people didn't care about. They had all the awards on stage, you know, at the AVN Awards, all the big important awards are on stage. Then after that, there's just like a scroll on a screen of the rest of the awards.
It's like at the Oscars, like when they are like, you know, best third lighting guy.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro, you're not coming on stage to give a speech, but we'll mail you the
right. And then it was the last one. I remember I was sitting in my seat at the very, very end. And I was not expecting to win anything. I just hear, you know, and they're just listing everything like Joanna Angel and Tommy Pistol, most outrageous sex scene, Re-Penetrator. I'll like never forget that moment. I stood up and I screamed so loud. Me and Tommy Pistol were sitting next to each other. We hugged, we cried, you know.
Really did it.
It felt like ridiculous and insane. And when we walked out, I was like crying. I was so happy. Everybody was like, did you win Best New Starlet? I was like, no, I won Most Outrageous Sex Scene. And everyone was like looking at me like, ew. Like the award that nobody cared about.
Well,
that nobody
look at you
won.
now. Look at you now.
And so that was my very first award. It was in 2000. It was from 2005. Yeah.
Riveting.
Yeah.
And
that's the story of Re-Penetrator. And you know, I don't know, it's out there somewhere. If you have a copy, I don't know. I feel like it would happen once at every convention. Someone would bring a copy of Re-Penetrator for me to sign. I
think you know, we could fill up a lot of shows just talk. That was one award.
That was that was a very
between the two of us. Because I remember when we were moving from LA and I had to box them up. I was trying to count. I think we have about 100 to 120 awards.
There's more than that.
Well, I don't count like soccer trophies from when we were fucking kids and shit.
No.
Not that I have any of those.
There is an award that we have that is a soccer trophy. I think you are confusing it. Like I actually put a soccer trophy in there.
Fine, then
there was one funny blog. They were called like the TL.
Anyway.
And they gave soccer trophies as awards. And I was actually.
The point is, I feel like every one of those awards has a crazy story. And
nothing has as crazy of a story as that. Like nothing.
Fair. Well, okay. Then we hit you with the best one.
Right, yeah. But we could talk about more of them. But yes, but there's no room to put them in our apartment now. And also where we lived in LA, I do remember we used to have an awards shelf.
We had them in the garage in LA. We didn't have them
No,
I
know.
LA.
Yeah, there was basically when I first met you and I was living in that apartment, I had an awards shelf.
Like paper towels and fucking...
Well, I had an awards shelf. I mean, it started with just like I had an award just sitting on a shelf with other things. And then when I won enough awards, I had an awards shelf. And then it literally at some point moved to like an awards room, basically, where it was just like all around the room. There were shelves and we kept putting them up.
I remember.
And then we ran out of space there. And then when we moved to a house. Now
I feel like you're getting braggy.
I'm not getting braggy. This is a space issue. And then at a certain point, but here was the thing. What I didn't want anymore, every time they took up so much space, it was impossible not to see them. So then anytime someone came in, we would wind up talking about awards for like an hour. You know what I mean? And I didn't want that anymore. It was like, okay, like I feel like an asshole every time someone comes in, whether it's
exhausting talking about how awesome you are.
Stop it. So I moved them to the garage. But then it was really funny because when somebody came to fix the water heater, he was like, best anal.
Yeah, no, that
was really funny.
Like, so are you guys like kind of famous or something? Or like, kind of.
I was like, he was like, are you guys movie stars? I'm like, you could read the fine print on the trophies.
Yeah. Do we have any questions, Brian, on this fine day?
So we do have a question here. I'm not going to say this guy's name, but he has a question. He's a man who's considering starting an OnlyFans, and he's looking for advice. With the business done on the site being mostly from straight men, how does he attract a fan base? Is it a realistic goal as a man who doesn't already have a following?
All right, buddy. Let me hit you with a well, I'm going to zero in on the last sentence. Can you repeat the last sentence?
How do I attract a fan base? Is it a realistic goal as a man who doesn't already have a following?
Short answer, no, it's not realistic if you do not already have a following. That's my point. OnlyFans. It's literally in the name. You have to, first of all, have fans to even offer them, whatever it is you're offering them content-wise. So if you don't already have a following, my advice would be to go get one.
Well, that isn't always true these days for men, especially. Go back and listen to our episode with Flesh Mechanic, who didn't have a following before he started one and got one, but he's very hot.
There's a couple ways.
Has a big dick and is good in bed.
Well, also, Flesh Mechanic was friends with a few other sex workers who are already kind of established, and so he had some people to work with right out the gate.
He did, yeah.
To give him some credibility from what I've kind of learned from his story. But look, dude, if you're just wanting to get laid, there are other ways. First of all, if you have no fan base, no following, and let's just say you start an OnlyFans, and anyone can pick up their phone and create an account. For now, you have you have to offer something, whether that's like your butthole or like pictures of you, jacking off, or video of you fucking people, or fetish content. You have to be able to produce something. So I would say your second step would be to figure out what it is you are trying to offer to the world, and then you have to figure out how to monetize it and get people to even know you exist. So you have kind of an uphill battle.
It sounds like you don't really have anything that you need.
There's not a lot of clay here for me to mold.
But there's look. But
there are guys who have done it.
There's nothing to lose. You could just start one. You're not going to be able to message a famous porn star and be like, I have an OnlyFans. Want to fuck me? I mean, you're going to have to figure out I would honestly, if you want like honest advice, if you really want to be on OnlyFans. And also, what was this question about like straight man? Like he doesn't want gay fans? Like,
well, he's just saying he's a straight man, so he's not going to be banging dudes.
Oh, well, that's fine. I mean, he can. Okay, that was just a weird thing to throw in there.
I like how a lot of guys just always assume like you have to
like
be gay or do gay stuff for
that's very
success. I don't know. It's just interesting. It always kind of pops up. Anyway, go on.
Because he could also bone dudes and also not be successful. There's just as much of a chance with no fan base that the gay stuff, it's not like if you decided to do gay stuff,
right?
You'd have a bunch of fans.
Right. You could suck a lot of dick
really
and not make any money.
Gay men with OnlyFans, and you're gonna have to compete against them. Yeah. But I'd say my best advice, and I don't know what you look like or what you have to offer, but look. It doesn't matter. I mean, clearly you've got a vision, I think.
I'm sorry. Let me clarify what he meant. Okay. Because he didn't mean, he meant most of the customers on OnlyFans are straight men. And he's a dude. So that's what, he's not talking about banging guys. He's talking about.
Oh, like kind of guy.
He's like OnlyFans.
Okay, I get it. I get it. Mostly straight dudes. Yeah. Okay, so I get it. Well, there are a lot. Also, I mean, first of all, you should listen to the Flesh Mechanic episode. A lot of his fans are women. But look, if people like your content, they're going to have to like your content. Like people will join a girl's page just because they think she's hot and they want to talk to her. Men, most of the time, they want to see your content. I mean, and they might want to see your content because you fuck a certain way. They might want to see your content because they recognize you from somewhere else. They might want to see your content. because of whatever. But what I would suggest is, and if you're too shy or don't want to do this, maybe this isn't right for you. If you really want to do this, shoot a handful of solos alone. Jerk off in front of a camera.
Get that dick out.
Put it on OnlyFans. Put out something on Twitter. See what happens. Also, if you Pornhub has a really great like model program, and you will get traffic there. But you're gonna have to like put some stuff out for free.
Gonna have to get
yeah,
that dick
I'd say
out.
get your dick out, jerk off, start a Pornhub like model,
Show us
or
what a bad boy
or
you
any of
really
the
are.
other tube sites where they will. OnlyFans doesn't give you traffic. You're gonna have to get the traffic from somewhere. So start building a fan base somewhere. But I'd say the easiest place to do that, I don't know if easy was the right word. A place where you can do that is on a tube site. But, then you're going to be on a tube site. I mean, and you'll be on there, for the rest of your life. If you're going to show your face, if you're not going to show your face, join some other male creator profiles and see what they do. Join a whole bunch of different ones. There's, guys with big names, guys with small names, guys, obviously
dicks,
you can't
guys with
like
little
compare
dicks.
yourself to like a Johnny Sins, because he is a very famous person. But there's plenty of guys on OnlyFans not boning dudes that do stuff on their pages. You could look at what they do, but I'd say make some videos jerking off and promote those videos, whether it's on Twitter, or on Pornhub or something, and then build yourself a little fan base. I do know a few guys that got started off like that. Granted, they were like really hot dudes with big dicks. I don't really know. You're gonna have to figure it out. There's a market for everything, But whatever you do, don't mix sex and blood.
Yeah, right. Stay away from that.
Because you can't do that.
Cool.
Didn't you actually? I remember you shot a particular scene with another female performer not that long ago for her OnlyFans. So she was very passionate about it. Like a Halloween scene. And I remember you came home. I was like, oh, what did she do? And this was just a couple of years ago. And you were like, oh, and then you had mixed sex and blood in that scene. I was like, she's not going to be able to post that. And you're like, well, I don't know. That's what she wanted me to do, because she had hired you for that scene.
Yeah, she paid me that day, so I was.
Yeah, you were like, well, I was just doing what she wanted me to do. And I was like, she's not going to be able to
I also
post
thought
that.
at the time, I thought maybe the rules for OnlyFans might
Yeah,
be more
no.
relaxed.
And I was like, I feel so bad for her right now.
There are
She
still
just put a
ways.
lot of money into this project, because I remember she was very passionate
There
about
are
it. I was
still
like,
ways.
No, I know. She found a way.
That scene
It's
found
just like
its-
I found a way. Yeah. She found a way. But yeah, I do remember she put it up when she put the trailer up, like it was like an hour later. She was like, well, guys, I have to take this down.
It was hot too. Right? It was some vampire
Yeah,
shit.
and then I think she just, I don't know what she did. I don't know what her workaround was.
Yeah.
It, but yeah. So that still stands today.
Okay.
I think that answered the question.
Yeah. Do we
Should
have
we get one more?
We got
question?
a video question.
Okay, let's take a video question. She's always sending in video questions. Hi, friend. Oh, where's the sound? I'm acting like it's live and I'm talking to her. Hi. I like her No Doubt
Hey
shirt.
guys, my question for you today is, with the holidays being right around the corner, what are your favorite things to eat? Or if you enjoy making something special? Just curious. Love you and have happy holidays. Bye.
Oh, love
Good.
you too. Love that No Doubt
Questions
shirt.
about what I know. I really like that No Doubt shirt.
What do we like to eat? What what do we not like to eat?
I like to eat all. I've gone over it how much I love the holidays, but I am actually cooking like a giant.
Yeah, we're only a
Thanksgiving dinner.
couple days away from Thanksgiving right now. By the time you hear this, it'll
right
be past,
after this
but
show. I am going.
yeah.
I'm doing a major
It's-
grocery trip, and I love all the traditional Thanksgiving dishes, like
all 90 of them.
yeah, cornbread, stuffing. I actually like making everything except the turkey.
It's true.
Like I want to make cornbread, stuffing.
What's this
carrot
year? What's
glazed-
going to be the star dish this year that you're making?
It really depends on what you like. My favorite Thanksgiving dish is the sweet potato casserole. It's really just always been my favorite.
Okay.
I can't really explain it.
Okay.
I actually am going to do something that's kind of like special to me. My uncle who passed away used to always make these amazing mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving. And so I'm going to use his recipe.
Nice. And
yeah.
It's a good recipe.
It's a good recipe.
It's
I want
not healthy.
And I used to always
at all.
celebrate Thanksgiving with him. So I'm going to do his recipe of mashed potatoes. And it's like, he was, from the Midwest and like I like to use Thanksgiving as a cheat day. Like I usually, I've definitely been not eating as healthy as I used to, but we
these
keep
mashed
it pretty
potatoes
clean.
are
Yeah.
like extra.
If I'm
cheat
looking
day.
at a menu, I'm always looking for like what's the
it's
something
basically
healthy
a
and
bowl of butter with
right.
like some
but
potato
Thanksgiving that all
essence.
goes out the window.
Yeah.
No diets allowed. Like let's just have like a good old fashioned Thanksgiving with cranberry sauce and gravy and but my favorite comfort food and holiday food that actually works for Thanksgiving, Christmas, or just any time, any day is mac and cheese. Like a good baked mac and cheese means like a holiday.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
What about you?
Well,
What's your favorite holiday food?
I mean, I don't really like cook holiday.
No, you don't.
food,
You cook like
but I like making salsa.
I know you like making
Honestly,
salsa.
it's my favorite thing to make.
You
like,
make
in the
such
kitchen is
good
like
salsa.
handmade, like very nice.
No, I have
salsa.
seen you change the energy of a party with your salsa. We've been
salsa-
to parties and brought your salsa, and it's like not that good of a party, and everybody starts eating your salsa, and they're in a better mood. I'm not even joking.
It's very special.
magical. You are so good at salsa
My salsa fucks.
and guacamole, which is so crazy.
All of those
because
type
you don't even like
situations.
guacamole.
No, I like it when I make it.
I know you like it when you make it, but in general, you don't like guacamole. You always choose to leave it off. You don't really like avocados.
Most people
if
don't
something
make
comes
it
with
the right
avocado,
way.
I know, but if something comes with avocados, you want it off. You're like, oh, no avocado, no avocado.
Generally, yeah.
You're not like an avocado enthusiast,
I'm not crazy about it.
and I am an avocado enthusiast. But you make guacamole that's like,
But
it's
usually,
next level.
for Thanksgiving, like for the parties we throw, I'm in charge of the decor.
Yes, you're the art department.
So I will like decorate the place. I'll set up the lighting. I'll usually be in charge of like the music and like I'll kind of DJ, somewhat. And then in the past, I'll also be like the bartender a lot, and I'll start like I've made like special drinks for the night and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So that's kind of usually where I live in Holiday Land. I'm also usually part of the cleanup crew.
Yes.
Because Joanna will spend
2 days.
2 days cooking, and then she's done.
Yeah.
And then I'll swoop in and get it going.
Yeah. And we're really excited, and it's gonna
Brian,
be a
you're
lot of
invited.
fun.
By the way, Brian, you're invited.
Yeah, you're invited.
I'll give you
Thanksgiving.
guys a shout.
To our friends and families. Give Thanksgiving
Yeah.
a palooza.
It keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, we had the first year we did it in New York. We had like 25 people, 4 dogs, 3 kids,
Yeah.
like
Everyone from all
famous people
Yeah.
and people from the block.
yeah, everyone of all
It was wild. It was a wild time. And
parents, porn stars,
It was very.
every gender.
Yeah, no, we were representing.
We
and,
represented one of every kind of person in the universe in that room.
and I think actually
The age range. We had children there. We had,
And I think to me, that's what makes like a holiday like Thanksgiving, which kind of stems from kind of shitty traditional
Yes.
things. That when I look around at our like party and I see, your parents there, and I see dogs, and I see
My
the nieces
nieces,
and nephews
yeah.
running around, and then there's porn stars there, and there's people of different genders and races and different, ethnic backgrounds, and everyone is just enjoying like each other's company and food and the luxury that we're able to have a day like this. That's like kind of, I think, what makes it special.
Are you gonna cry?
Do you want me to?
It looks like you're.
Give me a minute. I can do it. No, but it's special.
You're
And
crying.
dude, relax.
It's audio, Joanna. Nobody else to know.
Look, I'm just saying that I'm thankful that we're even able to do something like this,
Yes.
and to invite people
I am
over
too.
and to be
I'm very
able to cook
thankful.
and provide a fun.
It's a beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited
Me
to
too.
make a giant Thanksgiving.
Speaking of, we should probably get moving.
Yeah, I guess we
because
should go.
You need to go shopping for like 100 hours. Should we
I have to, like,
haiku it up
we should
and
haiku
get
it.
the F out?
Yeah, thanks for listening. Brian, you learned something new about me. I bet you didn't know the story about Re-Penetrator.
I was thoroughly amused by
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So if you ever see a copy, yeah. I'd say everybody go check out the movie, but you can't.
I'm sure you can find it
Yeah, you can find it on the black silk web, whatever
It
is.
exists.
It exists.
Yeah. Anyway, but you know what? We should have Tommy Pistol on the show.
We should.
At some point.
Okay, let me start out the haiku.
Okay.
We're gonna
Everybody go check out Tommy Pistol. Follow Tommy Pistol,
Yes, we love Tommy.
the legend.
Hold on. Did you put it in your butt in Re-Penetrator?
No.
Damn it.
It was that long ago.
It's hard for me to imagine a
Wait,
movie without
did I?
you
No,
getting
I
fucked in the
didn't.
ass. Because I was going to
It's
say
so
blood,
crazy, right?
guts, and butt sex.
Yeah.
But if there was no butt sex, it's kind of
I think I was going to, but it was
All right,
like,
fine.
yeah, it was too
All right,
complicated.
I'll start it off. Blood, guts, and blowjobs. I'm assuming you suck some dick in the movie. Okay, so that plays. Blood, guts, and blowjobs.
Are not allowed on the, not internet, are not
Web.
allowed on the web. Are not allowed on the web. Yeah. Blood, guts, and blowjobs are not allowed on the web.
Okay, Brian, take us home.
Hey, get your dick out.
Yeah. There it is, baby.
There it is. What are all the things we're supposed to? Yeah, blood.
Blood, guts, and blowjobs are not allowed on the web. Hey, get your dick out.
Oh, that's so nice. What? We should put. Can we? Now that we're part of the big.
We're gonna put all this out as a book.
Yeah, the big network that is gasdigital.com. Now that we're part of like the biggest and greatest podcast network in the world, can we put out
tips?
Use promo code tips to sign up for the website, and we get some credit for it.
We got to write a better script for this.
Use code
You can
tips.
use promo code tips. Sign up at gasdigital.com. You get a 7-day free trial. And you also get to check up on over 20 great shows on the network.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And to some of you, I've seen a few comments asking why some episodes have disappeared off of like Spotify or YouTube. I think that's Brian, if I'm correct.
We have the last 20 shows up for public consumption, and if you want to go back into the archives, you got to sign
So
up.
if you want to deep dive, which I know you fucking do, you're going to have to join the Gas Digital Network, use promo code TIPS. You can follow us online, Justthetipsxo on Twitter and Instagram, and justthetipsxo@gmail.com if you want to send us a question.
Yeah. And you can follow me at Joanna Angel. My OnlyFans, onlyfans.com/Joanna Angel. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Good shit. Let's go shopping.
Okay. Bye.